I did want to ask you about the kicking game just in general. Like,
Okay.
how are those guys worked this week now that there's actually a game on the horizon, or near right now as opposed to on the horizon?
Well, Carson was really good today. You know, he made all his kicks. He made his game-winning kick at the end, and he's just really consistent. You know, I think that's the one thing you look at all positions is, do you get the same performance every day? And if they have a bad kick, how do they handle it? And it doesn't affect them. He's just really level-headed, and that's been impressive. You know, so I'm excited to see him in the stadium, and obviously game day is where it counts the most.
Kyle with kickoffs, is he going to?
Yeah, Kyle will be our kickoff guy, and he's done a really nice job. And proud of him just for how he's handled the situation. He's been really good with Carson, been very supportive, and has really, taken ownership in his new role. And guys put him on the leadership council because of the respect they have for him, for his work ethic and how he's handled it.
I understand it's probably a little weird to ask you maybe to reflect on something when you're leading up to the very beginning of the season, but do you feel more relaxed or relieved at this point, just 48 hours out, than you did, maybe ever here?
I don't know if I can go back to those moments. I definitely feel as confident as I felt about our depth. You know, there was a lot more question marks going into game day, I guess, in the previous years at all the different position groups that were new starters in. You know, we do have some new starters, but not as many as we've had, and really knowing that we're going to have to rotate, in the first game at certain positions, knowing that you trust the backups in certain spots maybe more than you have. But, the last teams that we've had have prepared well for our openers and played well in our openers, and I feel the same way about this team. They've worked really hard, and I'm sure we're like South Carolina, we're sick of practice and want to play a game, that's kind of where you are at this point in the season. We've been working since January.
What does it say about the program that you feel as confident, as prepared, but for a much higher caliber opponent than you've played in a season opener in your time here?
Well, I think the timing was right, to play our best opening opponent that we've played since I've been here, just because of the depth. Really not the depth, the experience that we've had in most of the positions. Anytime you have a returning starter at quarterback, and a lot of your linemen are back, and then both teams have a lot of skilled players back on offense. So it is a good feeling. I don't know if it'll change anything that I go through, but waiting is kind of it's a long, agonizing wait to get to the kickoff for that first game, just because you're so excited to see the guys go play.
You mentioned the progress to build depth and experience and that kind of thing. Do you allow yourself to kind of look at it as this is the year there should be the payoff or reward for all that, or do you not think like that?
I don't. I think I didn't go into last year or the year before saying, well, we got to wait a couple of years to be good. I think every year that you line up as a coach, you do everything you can to get the best team that you can, the best staff that you can, and make them as close together as you can going into your season, and we're no different. Hopefully the payoff is great, because I know that's what these kids and coaches have worked for.
Yeah, Marion Roseboro hasn't fit the senior narrative, so he kind of has been overlooked a little bit, but
yeah.
How good could he be this year, and what kind of drive have you seen in the offseason?
I think if you looked at every interview I've given, I've talked about Doeren like he's a starter, and that's how we look at him. And you can't play five at one time, and really in Darius Bryant, we look at him the same way. Him and Doeren are both guys that are going to play equal snaps to the four guys that start the game, and they're going to have equal opportunity to impact the football game for the positive or the negative. And those guys, Darian's been doing that for us, and he can play multiple positions. He plays hard. He's disruptive, and I think he does get overlooked, because of the four seniors. But his impact can be equally prominent on that front for us.
Do you have any more clarity on Mike Stevens as far as the injuries? You were kind of not a long time. The prognosis was 4 weeks, but you were unsure. Is there any new?
Yeah, it's really a week-to-week thing. They were showing me video of him sprinting in the pool today, so he is doing really good with his rehab. What that means, I don't know. There was nothing that the docs needed to do any surgery on, so it's really a soft tissue recovery, and you just kind of wait and see how long that takes. And some guys are quicker healers than others, so we're hopeful we have him back next week. We may or may not. Maybe 2 weeks and maybe 3, but judging the recovery he's had so far, he's way ahead of schedule.
Do you
injury to him and some inexperience back there in the secondary, how much more important does your defensive line and your pass rush become going into this one?
Well, it can be. You know, I think pass rush is DB's best friend. Always has been, always will be, regardless of their talent. And I like the Royal shirt, by the way. You know, we'll see. I think it always ties together when you're talking about defensive pass rush. The better the coverage, the better the rush. The better the rush, the better the coverage. And there's more to it than just, you know, the corners or the nickels or the safeties. The backers are going to be matched up on tight ends and running backs. And, you know, we know that they're going to spread us out at times and put everybody in position where they got to cover. So all those guys that are in the back end, wherever the matchups are going to have to perform well.